You finally come to destroy the earth. We'll have to do with you first. I bet they won't be expecting that. Finally come to destroy the earth. We'll have to deal with you first. And my money says they won't know about the 1,000 Fahrenheit hot little lights behind your eyes, invincible. You're invincible. Oh, invincible. You're invincible. Crushing, crashing, atom smashing, white hot thing, invincible, invincible. Won't know without 1,000 Fahrenheit hot little lights behind your eyes, invincible. You're invincible. 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 Crashing, clashing, atom smashing, white hot thing, invincible, invincible. So please use your powers for good. Please use your powers for good. You're invincible. You're invincible. You're invincible. You're invincible. You're invincible. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Invincible. Clashing, crashing, atom smashing, white hot light, invincible, invincible. And that was OK Go with Invincible, sung by yours truly, Wolfie. Welcome back to the Wolfie Driving Podcast. It has been a while. Not for you guys, because these are going to upload regularly, right? But it's been a while for me recording. My whole house got sick, and my school, as a policy, when people get sick, they don't want them to, come to class to give them excuse absences, because the school's so small, anyone that's sick just, it spreads like wildfire, and it's gross. And I didn't go to class. I didn't go to, 2 of my classes, and when I did go to class, I didn't record because I was sick, and I didn't want to talk, so lay off my back. Today is, I can't tell you what day it is, but it is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Class ran a little bit late, and then after class, I had to stop by the financial aid office to talk to them about some financial aid things that I had talked to them about, and then I went to Starbucks, and now you're all cut up, so that's why it's a little bit late. We're going to drive home, get some food with Blue Kitty, have a good time. But, so what's been going on, right? We just had animation portfolio class, Here's the agenda for today. I'm gonna try to stay on topic, and we're gonna talk about Hearthstone. I'll tell you why we can't talk about Overwatch, and we're just gonna finish off with more Hearthstone uh, in a bit. But I just had my animation. We're gonna talk about me first, then we talk about Hearthstone. Just had animation class, right? And it's both of my classes are animation classes. This one was animation portfolio, and it's different because it's my senior class. It's my portfolio class, and it spans 2 semesters. So in my head, I'm like, all right, we got plenty of time to do this. We're already 4 weeks in, and like we barely started. We have our stories like done, storyboarded. We have animatics set up, and we were supposed to have rig testing done today, but it's not due until next week. So that's what we're trying to finish. But it's weird because we did our story pitches first, right? And then based off of those story pitches, the class picked we talked about this. So some people got fucked because the stories that they got, they just needed to go find rigs for it, and it didn't have to be anything super specific. Like one was like a zombie thing, one of them is like female things, and we already have one female rig and one male rig. So those ones are like kind of easy, but then some of the other ones, like if they had to go find a rig for it, then they can go find a rig for it, right? But some of us had to, including me, have to modify our like existing rigs. So I have to take the kid rig, the male rig that we have, and I'm gonna end up with either 2 copies and 2 different like files for animation, or I'm gonna have to do this weird thing with I have to like build armor on because he's gonna be a knight, so he has to have armor in his like suit of armor, right? So I'm modeling the suit of armor for him right now. Like that's what I'm working on. And then after I model it, I have to parent it to the existing rig so that like when the arms move, the pieces of armor move and stuff like that. And then I have to give each piece of armor its own animation control because I know I'm gonna want to move them around when I start animating it because they're not gonna be perfect. So I want to be able to move them around. So I have to do that, and then I have to add like a visibility switch so I can turn them on and off. So that's a lot of work, and I got a lot of it done. I got this like awesome helmet done, and then I got his like shoulder pad thing done with like bracers underneath the shoulder pad, and it was looking fucking cool. And then I started working on like a bracer for his forearm, and I tried doing it at home like once before, and it was fucking weird. So I was like, I know, I'll just copy his existing geometry for his arm and then just blow it up a little bit, and then it'll be in the same shape. It'll just be bigger, and then I can recolor it and whatever, right? So I tried to do that. It did not work whatsoever. I almost broke the entire rig, and then it crashed, and then my save file went away, so I had to redo my shoulder and my fucking awesome helmet. Now I have a slightly lamer helmet that I didn't put as much time into, and the bracer is the same because that was the easy part. But the point is, I spent all of class today doing one thing twice, and it fucking blows. And now I'm just like where I started, and I still need to do like bracers. I still need to do the chest piece and the stomach like pieces because they have to be broken up so he can bend. Or I might just like recolor his shirt to like a chainmail-y color, and like change the materials on it so it's kind of shiny. And then I have to do leg pieces, knee piece, shin guards, and I might just color his shoes a different color, so I don't have to like model anything. Or I might give him pointy night shoes. That'd be okay. I'd be okay with that. But it's a long road, right? And then we also have like this. In my story, he fights these little demon things, and I tried looking for like just a simple like rig. The fuck? I tried looking for like a simple rig that I could use, right? But I couldn't find one, so I had to make one. So I modeled this little like ball, and I put a face on it, and then I gave it two arms, and that's it. Like it doesn't have any legs. The arms are like super blocky, like not even arms. He only has three fingers. It's it's janky as fuck, this thing, but it's gonna serve its purpose. And if I need to touch it up later, I can touch it up later. That's not a big deal. I just need it now. I need to rig it now so that when I touch it up later, it can, it, like, if I'm working on my animations, I can still work on my animations, and then it'll just transfer with a better model and rig. And I might put, like, texture on it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. So, that's what's going through my head right now. So I have all of that to do in a week. Technically, I had 2 weeks, but I already modeled the guy, and I started modeling the shield, the armor pieces for my main guy. And it's not like a bunch of work, but it's something, right? So I have another week to finish all of it. Which, like, the rigging part for the demon guy is going to be easy, and then the visibility controls are going to be easy. I'm just worried about tying the armor to the actual skeleton because it could get really, really wonky. So we're going to see how that goes. And I might just make it like super simple too. Make an animation test to prove that it's got some things that I need to work on so the teacher gives me a little bit more time to work on it. And I have to model a sword and shield and a violin. And the strings on the violin, I want them to move. So I have to rig those also. But that should be easy. Hopefully that's easy. Anyway. Sorry. So that's one class. The second class, we're doing it's called a gear shift animation. It's when your character is showing an emotion, and then he quickly just switches into a different emotion. And the example that she showed us was in Ratatouille when the food critic eats the ratatouille, and he's like amazed, and then the bad guy eats the ratatouille, and then he goes from pretentious to amazed to like angry and then to like sad or like disgusting, and it's fucking amazing. Like it's the pinnacle of it. Like not even in like 5 seconds, he does 4 different like emotion changes. So we just have to do one emotion change, and I just have the storyboard to do tomorrow. I have no idea what I'm gonna do for them yet. Like no idea whatsoever. My last animation was we had a waiting assignment, and waiting as in like, oh, I'm waiting for the bus. My guy was playing cards with someone else. You didn't see the other person, so that's probably why it didn't like work out so well. But he's like looking at his cards and waiting for his turn, and then he just gets like super tired waiting, and he like yawns. I had to fix the yawn. It's whatever. But this time, I really just want a short, like awesome animation. So I have to study up on my facial expressions and just I kind of just have to like throw darts and pick one. I might do like happy to throwing up to disgusting. Maybe I like that. Anyway, while we weren't recording, I was listening to other podcasts, trying to learn. Most other podcasts have like multiple people, which I can't do unless someone else is driving with me. But no one wants to like spend 5 hours waiting for me. So that's that. Um, but I did learn some things like agenda planning. Agenda setting is probably the most common thing that all other podcasts do. And like, I listened to Serial, right? Both seasons of Serial, fucking amazing. Oh my god, Serial is so good. Sarah Koenig is like one of my heroes. But she has it's like a journalistic approach to it instead of just like a chilled out podcast. She has a script. She has everything planned out. It's different than what this is. This is me. I'm driving home and I'm talking about mostly Hearthstone, sometimes other games, right? And just animation in general. So that being said, it's a little bit. I can't just copy Sarah Koenig's style for this. I can't copy like I don't remember the name of the channel. It's like Chanman V or something. It's I think they're like editors on Hearthstone, and their podcast series is called Value Town. They they talk with pros, and every week they do like what decks they've been playing around with, and any Hearthstone news, like tournament results, stuff like that. So I could do that. That's pretty easy. The only difference is that they're better at Hearthstone than I am, and that's a very big difference. Like, damn, because I'm not so good at Hearthstone. We I tried being good at Hearthstone, man. I think on the last day of the season, like a couple of days ago, I got up to rank 14 or 15. I think I fell down to 15, but no, I got to 4. You know what? I think I got to 13 because I remember staying up and I was like, damn, that'd be so cool if I could get to like rank 9 or 10. But I fell short a little bit, and then I disconnected on the last match because it turned midnight, and I didn't want to lose a star. And because I listened to Value Town, Firebat or someone was talking about how stupid the way the ladder is right now for competitive playing on Hearthstone is, because there's so much emphasis on the last day of the season, and if you're like in the middle of a match, if you're playing a match and you're losing, the way the system works is that it'll retroactively give you the ranking and then give you the other stuff at the end of the match. But for some reason, if you DC before midnight and then log back on when the ladder resets, it won't give you the, oh, you disconnected from your game and received the lost message. It'll just like pretend like the game never happened. So knowing that, you can play all day long. As soon as it's like 11:58, whatever game you're in, if you think you can still win, then go ahead and risk it. But if you're losing and it's a little shaky, just disconnect, wait the 2 minutes, and then log back in, and you'll be fine. And you just start the new season, right? So it's interesting, and I've tried it and it worked, but it's not like game breaking. It's not amazing. It's just like, that's weird. It's just a weird thing. Um, but I guess on the other hand, I don't know if it gives the other guy a win, or if it just doesn't give me a loss. I guess we'll never know. But I got up to rank like 13 or 12, right? I was piloting mid-range shaman. No, it was aggro shaman, like hardcore. I had the claws, Tuskar Totemic, all that good shit, right? I just had all of it. And now the ladder's reset, and I'm back. I was back at 20 with the stars. I was like almost out of 20 with the stars that it gave me. So I was like, alright, I'm gonna keep playing shaman, but I know Tuskar Totemic's getting changed, and it's kind of like a weird change, but I want to try Totem Druid instead. Totem Shaman, right? Because I really like the Witch from the last expansion. That she's essentially like Violet Teacher, except she summons Shaman. She summons Shamans, which to me are more valuable than 1/1 apprentices, because the Shaman totems have effects. Basic totems have effects still. Or you get a 1/1, which is the same thing. But you could get a taunt, fucking healing, or spell damage, which is like always the best one. And the deck was running really smooth for like 4 or 5 games, and then I lost everything all the way back down to 19. So that was humbling as shit. And the problem is that I don't have any good turn 1 plays. My turn 2 has so many options. But turn 1, unless I can coin, sorry about that, guys. Got a call from Blue Kitty. She was on her break. I don't remember what we were talking about. I want to say we were talking about my bad totem deck. So there's not enough good like turn 1 plays, except for the fucking Tunnel Trog guy, and even he's like kind of shaky because the deck doesn't have a lot of overload. It just makes me feel like right now Totem Shaman isn't going to be a thing, because all the other decks are like faster than Totem Shaman right now. So either Totem Shaman isn't going to be a thing, or it's going to be just replacing some of those aggro shaman cards with some like tech totem cards, because Tuskar Totemic is changing. He can only summon basic totems now. Not now. I don't know when the change happens, but that's like a nerf that's coming up, along with the Yogg-Saron change. So Tuskar Totemic can only summon basic totems now, and the Witch can only summon basic totems now. So in my head, I'm like, okay, the way from what I've played the game, like with the deck so far, you can build the board super fast, just like regular Totem Shaman, or just like regular Shaman. You can build the board really fast. What are you gonna do with it afterwards? So that's why I put in there's a lot of stake here, guys. That Inspire, give your totems +2 attack, and then there's 2 copies of the give all your totems plus 2 health. And there's 2 copies of the Primal Overload, +1/+1 for each totem card. And it's a lot of that, like that's literally it. And then I don't know what to do after that. Like, it's so weird because it seems like it should work, but it does work. It's just not fast enough. So it's just not a tier 1 deck, I guess. And can we make it tier 2? I don't know. Probably not. The decks that like really suck to go against is fucking Dragon Warrior though, because Dragon Warrior is pretty good. And then I think I lost to Zoo Warlock one time, but it wasn't like I didn't lose that, or I won and I almost lost. I don't remember, but it wasn't like super good. I lost to a Miracle Rogue though. That one was weird, but Miracle Rogue can just like controlling the board super well. Like she drew fucking good. My turn 1 was passed, so like of course if you don't tempo against a rogue, then you're gonna get tempo down no matter what. And you have to keep the board control. I wasn't able to kill Gadgets in the first time because she used what's his face, the Shadow Conceal card, and I didn't roll my spell damage totem when I went for the deal damage to everything card, so it was a little bit bad, but that's okay. And then I just started playing heroic mode for Karazhan because I haven't finished any of the adventures on heroic mode. So I want to get into the habit because it makes me a better player, probably, right? Because I don't want to like look up the answers and like look up the best deck to play against. I want to figure it out on my own. So like I couldn't get past the first fucking wing at all. And it was super frustrating because he would summon like so many plates, and then I would kill all the plates, and then I would still lose because he summons 2 plates a turn, no matter what. And then I was like, wait a fucking second, wait a goddamn fucking second. And I played a Freeze Mage deck. And I went to a bunch of iterations, but my favorite one was the I put animated armor in it at one point because essentially it changes every one of the minions on the mirror's field to 1 attack, to just a regular plate, and they don't attack the animated armor. So as long as I can keep armoring up with the secret, technically I would have been fine. And my big strategy was not killing the plates, but letting the plates build up so they had less buffs. And that was the easiest thing. And then yeah, eventually I had to like flame strike the whole board, but most of the time it was fine. And it took a couple of tries. I ended up retooling the deck, so it literally only had 2 creatures in it. Barnes and 2 copies of animated armor, so that I can get animated armor as soon as possible, and then the rest of the deck was just control Freeze Mage with like a Pyroblast and some burn. And then I ended up winning because I was able to control the board the way that I needed to, so that his board got filled up with plates, and they had like 1 buff card. And then I just kept the 1 buff card frozen the whole time so that it wouldn't attack or like do anything. And then all he has to play is the Illumi Presence, gain armor and draw a card, or draw 3 cards and gain armor. And there's another one that like you gives the plate attack power depending on how many plates he has. That one you would use sometimes. If I didn't have animated armor up, it would hurt. But The one thing I did mess up on is that you're essentially, you can fill up the board with plates, so you can kill 2 plates a turn to save yourself 2 damage a turn. Because then uh, he activates his hero power and he gets 2 plates, but they still have summoning sickness, so they can't attack. Unless he has the fork out, which is just fucking dumb. Usually I just let him have the taunt, and I would just burn him to death, and it was fine. The mirror was literally the funnest game I've played in so long, because it hit me that you can do the adventures without playing only standard cards. So I made a Wild Warrior deck that was every single card in the game that dealt damage to all minions, besides Frost Breath, Freezer Dragon guy. And that one warrior card, Cursed Reaver, that when you draw it, you deal damage to all the minions. I disenchanted it, I don't know why. But it was literally just like Whirlwind, Explosive Sheeps, Tainted Ghoul, Sludge Belcher, like oh my god, it was so fun because, and there's also the 1-drop, 1/1 Death Rattle, deal 1 damage to all creatures. So I would summon him or Explosive Sheep, and then he would summon an Explosive Sheep with his hero power that was 1/1, which is whatever. And then if I Whirlwind, then my Whirlwind deals 1 damage to everything, kills both of the Explosive Sheeps, and then those deal, and added 4, so I'm dealing 5 damage to all creatures. It's fucking awesome. Also, the Sludge Belcher combo, all of his creatures were 1/1. So if I play a Sludge Belcher, mine's 3/5. His is only a 1/1. He runs his Sludge Belcher into mine, and it deals 2 damage to everything. So mine still survives with 2 health, but everything else is dead. And then I also played Deathlord, the 2/8 with taunt that summons a creature from your deck from your opponent's deck when it dies. Because I'd summon mine, and then he would get a copy of it, but it's only a 1/1, so it dies like straight away. And then I get another creature. Like, it was fucking awesome. It was so fun. Like, I had to play it 3 or 4 times to win, but Jesus fuck, it was fun. And right now, I'm stuck on the chess one, because I can't build a deck to win the chess one. I literally have to, like, outmaneuver my opponent. And for that one, I did look up online, like, what the strategy everyone else was going for. And so far, the only thing I found is that you keep all of your pawns on the left-hand side so that they get cheated on, and you use your knight and your bishop to kill everything until they summon the queen, and then you use your queen and your knight to kill their queen. So that it was weird. I also have to keep up board control. If I lose board control at any point, then I pretty much lost the game, which kind of fucking sucks because he can cheat, and it's retarded. I hate it so much. But if the bishop heals 2 damage to my knight, as long as my knight survives the attack that he's doing, then it should be fine. What I was doing beforehand was just attacking anything that the knight would kill, even if it killed himself. So that was probably the bad move. In my defense, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I had been up for a very long time. And I was just like, alright, I'm going to play one more, and then going to sleep. On that note, I haven't been able to play Overwatch for like a couple. I haven't played Overwatch at all for like a month now, and that's only because my little brother's really into Warframe. So whenever we play online together, he wants to play Warframe because he's fucking good at Warframe. God damn, he's so good at Warframe, and I'm not. So he likes playing Warframe. and like I'm trying to get better. So I've been playing Warframe more than Overwatch, but the last couple of days I've been really wanting to play Overwatch, and I tried logging in every day for the last 3 days, and it wouldn't. It just doesn't work. Like, you guys let me know if you guys get this error too. But I'll go in to the game, hit play, it'll load up, and then it gives me the map. Then it says searching for game server, connecting, and then loading game or something. Whatever that third one is, like waiting for game or entering game. I think it's entering game. And it just stays there forever. And if I try to like cancel, if I hit the cancel button, then the whole game freezes. But if I hit exit to desktop, then it works, which is weird. So I was like, oh, that's fucking weird. And I had an update, so I was like, oh, it might be the update. But it wouldn't update either. Like, I had to update Overwatch, Hearthstone, and Heroes of the Storm, but none of them would update, like, at all. It was super weird. So I ended up, like, uninstalling all the games, uninstalling Battle.net, and reinstalling Battle.net, reinstalling all the games, like, downloading them overnight, or whenever we weren't in the house. And I just left, when I left this morning, I left Heroes of the Storm to download and install, and I'm installing the PTR of Overwatch to see if that one works, because I looked up this bug, and a lot of people have it, but they can get into the game if they go into a different server, and I'm using the Americas server, so maybe if I go into the PTR server, it'll work, but the Americas one hasn't been working. And I tried playing it this morning before I had to go to school, to class, and it gave me the same thing, but then after a couple of minutes, it worked, and it went onto the main menu, but the background stayed, like the gray map background stayed, and a hero didn't load up on my screen. And I was like, that's weird, so I hit play, and then the game froze again. So, that was fucking dumb. It was also telling me I had zero ping, which might be something to do with it. I don't know if it's server side or my side. I checked my firewalls. It goes through my firewall. The only thing I could do is just take down my firewall. Or, like, hopefully it doesn't have something to do with, like, my router settings, because I had to, like, fiddle with them a little bit when I was setting up the Minecraft server with my brothers at Tier B3. Hopefully it wasn't that, but I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out today. The PTR should have finished downloading. Heroes of the Storm is 16 fucking gigabytes. Like, goddamn. It's so big. And I just hope it finished downloading so I don't have to, like, still download it and have it use up bandwidth while I'm at home. But, I'm gonna go home today. I have some homework to do. But I really just want to play. Like, I've been sick this whole fucking time, and I haven't been able to, like, do much. And whenever I have time, Blue Kitty or the neighbors want to do shit, and, like, goddamn, like, sometimes I just wish people were like, oh, he literally, like, my perfect day off, I stay home all day long. Like, not even kidding. If I don't have school and I don't have to, like, go to work, I'm just gonna stay at home all day long. Like, I don't want to go anywhere. Not even to go get food. I'm gonna stay in my pajamas all day long. And that sounds like amazing to me, but I can never do that because I always have shit to do. So maybe one of these days we'll just have like a nice day off where I can just stay home and play video games and animate, and do art and stuff. or I'm gonna get so good at art, people are gonna pay me to art at home, and then home is where I work, and then I'll be like, man, I never want to go, I never get to go out anymore because I'm working all the time. Home, that'll be awesome. That's the dream. That's the plan that we're going for. But I haven't been able to play Overwatch. I'm so upset. Like, I want to play Overwatch. I haven't done any of my ranked games yet. I want to level up my brother so that he can duo with me, and then we can play ranked games together. At least for like the preliminary, like 10, like the test ranked games. It's just finding time, dude. Like, if I have a day off, like today, I don't have to work, but I had to go to school. So I had to leave home at 8:30 and then go to school. I'm coming back, and it's almost 2 o'clock already. Like, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. That's over 5 hours that I've been away on my day off, not getting to do anything. Like, yeah, I had to go to school, but fucking Maya crashed, and the computers at the school are fucking garbage. So, take that, my school, my institution. Uh, uh, yeah, I apologize for this episode. It's been a while since we did a recording. I'm a little out of practice. Mostly, though, I'm sick. I'm wearing, like, this sweater. It's super hot in the car for some reason. I don't know if it's just me because I'm sick or because it's actually hot in the car. But it rained today, which is pretty cool. So I don't want to, like, have it be too cold because I'm still sick, but now it's hot and I'm uncomfortable and I don't want to talk about anything. We're almost home. I don't know how long we've been recording for. Not that long. 43 minutes, it says. And a lot of that is just silence. And that sucks. That's bad podcasting. Bad podcasting. Bad. What else are we going to talk about? Okay, so, like, I have a couple of deck ideas, right? But I kind of want to just stay away from ladder and do all of the heroic missions first for Karazhan, and then like come back and do all of that stuff, all the ladder stuff, because the in general I feel like I'm lacking as a Hearthstone player, not in both gameplay, like making decisions on turns, but also in deck building a little bit. Now my deck building skills come from Magic, and it's a lot more complicated, but it's a little bit simpler because you have like baselines. Like in Magic, your decks are 60 cards instead of 30, right? Which sounds like it's a lot worse, but you also can have 4 copies of any card in your deck instead of 2, which helps fill out that like empty space. But also a good baseline is to have like 20 cards for mana. 20 of your card slots are going to be mana slots. That's your land, any mana ramp that you have, any creatures that generate mana for you, and any of that stuff is going to be around 20 to like 23. So that's a third of your deck just for mana. And then you need like the 1/3, a good solid third of your deck is like your core win condition and setup, right? So what's your deck about? Is your deck a mill deck? Alright, well then that 1/3 of cards, those 20 cards, those are going to revolve around milling your opponent and making sure you don't mill yourself instead. or like some sort of engine or combo that helps mill your opponent a lot faster than singular cards, stuff like that. And then the other third, that last third, is a combination of tech choices and card draw. Every deck, every card game needs card draw, except for some. We'll get into that in a second. Every deck in a every card game that has decks in it needs card draw. Besides, like, your one a turn, and that's literally what like almost dictates a good deck is if you have enough card draw. Because if you don't, then you're fucked. And one of the games I won with my totem deck, when I Maelstrom portaled, I Maelstrom portaled a fucking what's the priestess card? The 1 mana 1/3 that draws a card whenever something gets healed. I pulled that, and I had 2 healing totems on the field already because of like my hero power and all the totem synergy cards. So I was able to draw out like a lot. Like I kept my hand stacked most of that game, which is hella cool because not only did the priestess help me get to a full hand, but then I still had cards in my hand that essentially cycled themselves out. So when I used them, they would draw me another card, and they helped swing, and that's how I won the game. So, and that's how you do it in Magic, right? But in Hearthstone, there's no mana, so you have another. I know it sounds like you have less cards, so your choices should be easier, but you have a third less of the deck slots. You have a third more choices because you need to fill those cards up with something. Now, in Magic, a third is 20 cards. In Hearthstone, a third is 10 cards. So if this was a 30-card Magic deck, 10 of my cards would be mana, 10 of my cards would be my win condition, and the other 10 are tech and draw. If we split that up like percentage-wise, then it's a third mana, a third win condition, and then I think it's 1/6 tech and 1/6 draw is like what that fractions out to, right? So if I want it, actually, is it 1/6 or is it 1/9? I don't know. I don't remember fractions so much. 3, half, 6. It's 1/6. Okay. So in Hearthstone, I need essentially one third win condition, and then I have 1/6 card draw and 1/6 tech, and that's what I have so far. I'm missing the entire third of my deck. That's 10 cards. So those 10 cards theoretically should just level out my curve and draw me more cards. Unless I'm a warlock, because then I have a hero power. So I guess saying it out like that, it makes a little bit more sense, right? Because you're gonna pick 10 main cards. That's your win condition. How you're gonna win? Is it a tempo deck? If it's a tempo deck, then you need swing cards and one like big, huge bomb. If it's an aggro deck, then you need 10 really strong aggro cards that can help swing the game in your favor and tempo tech choices. If it's a ramp deck, then you need your big bombs and your ramp cards. If it's a control deck, then you need your one win condition card and then all your board control cards. What else is there? Combo decks. If it's a combo deck, then you need your combo. And you use that extra space to put in draw cards because you need to draw your combo. And you need a little bit to keep you alive. So, in I feel like in Hearthstone, it's a lot harder to hide if you're not up to par. And I know they said this during one of the tournaments where once you get to a certain level, the mistakes are magnified because Hearthstone has like all these particularities in it, and if I like if I make a mistake, it's essentially magnified because the size of the deck is so much smaller. Every one of my choices is twice as important, which means every one of my mistakes is twice as fatal. So I guess that's the way I'm trying to see it, which kind of sucks when you think about it, because every single card in your deck serves a purpose, right? Not only does it serves 1/30th of a purpose, but those categories are broadened out now. So like, if it doesn't serve your win condition, if it doesn't draw you cards, and if it doesn't help against the meta, then it has no business being in your deck. And now I'm actually, yeah, revelation time. Like, I'm literally just going to go through my decks and do that check. Like, is this helping out my curve slash helping against the meta? Right now the meta is like just fast, so I need to be on curve. So is this helping out against the meta? Is it drawing me cards? Is it helping me win? No? Get the fuck out. Right? That's essentially how it's going to go. Because theoretically, I don't need a 1-drop. If my turn 2, 3, 4, any turn above 1 can deal with any of the 1-turn shit that goes on with everybody else. Because what are my 2-drop turns? I can Totem, I can Hero Power, I can Maelstrom Portal already. There's another one. I don't remember it right now, but those are like my turn 2 like options, and I usually have at least one of those every game because they make the bulk of my deck. So instead of focusing on turn 1 cards, if I can focus more on turns 2 and 3, I feel like that'd probably be a lot better. We're going to end this episode now, though. I have a couple of errands to run before I get home, and it involves me stepping outside of the car and talking to people, and also getting gas. So, thank you guys so much for listening. I apologize. This podcast was a little bit of a mess, but it's the first one back. Say hooray, and we'll see you guys next time. For me, that's tomorrow, probably, unless I call out of class. But we'll see you guys next time. And I don't know how to end these yet. Besides saying thank you, just have a nice day. Bye.